I don't know how to say this, but I'm kind of a big deal. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. This is The Plan, which is my weekly show, talking about the various shenanigans that have been ensuing on the holotables for the week, and there's a few things that are of note here I'm excited to talk about, including CG having left the building. They're gone, leaving us with a potentially buggy territory battle. They're gone for, 2 weeks? Something like that, and you know, we're going to see a lot of people complaining about that, I'm sure, but I feel like everyone needs a break every once in a while, and I hope that you all are getting the rest that you need. I'm certainly not getting the rest that I need, but I hope that you are. So, that being said, why don't we just jump right in, shall we, folks? And if you want to support the channel for free, all you've got to do is hit that like button, subscribe, comment. We're mounting the algorithm, folks, and it's a tough process. Like, subscribe, and comment, ding the bell. You can overcome your fear, folks. You can do it. You've got this. I'm not gonna ding the bell, but you guys can. All right, very good. Now, this isn't Galaxy of Heroes related, actually. I just, I like to share a couple things from my personal life, I guess, from my preferences. This is my favorite living author. He's a fantasy author, Brandon Sanderson. Most of you have actually heard of him. Every year, he gives a State of the Sanderson address, which is a huge document that he types up. And, it gives an update to all of his fans about what things he's working on and this, the status of various things. And this actually happens once every year. It's on what he calls Kolos Head Munching Day, which I'm not going to explain. It's kind of an inside joke, and it's also his birthday. But he just goes through talks about all his different projects. He's very prolific, has really good, honestly, life-changing, awesome books. I just love his discussion on character growth, and it's wonderful. It's very applicable to real life in a lot of ways, in my opinion. So, go pick up a Sanderson book, guys. Go read the Stormlight Archive. It's wonderful. Now, the Grand Inquisitor event is coming soon. The unlock is very soon, and you guys can find, actually, I put out a video of it a while ago, when the first Grand Inquisitor event went live. I recorded all my attacks and stuff on my unlock, and then I put it out. It wasn't intended to be a guide exactly. It was just, I think I put it down as, full event and strategy. You could use it as a strategy guide, but, and I showed my mods and everything. If you want to get a jump start on that, guys, a head start, you want to see what the requirements are and stuff, you can watch my video. It's in the video description. I've linked it. And CG and their ultimate wisdom have left us. I wanted to make a guide on how to unlock him, like an actual real guide. I've been wanting to make that. I thought I'd be making it 3 months ago, but CG and their infinite wisdom have seen fit to make us all wait for 6 months, which has made a lot of the community really happy, just joyous, and not really. It's horrible. But, yeah, you guys can get a head start on this if you want, all the modding and everything. I think I'm going to actually record the first part of the video tonight using old footage, because it'll be great, and, the modding and everything. The modding is actually fairly important here, folks. That being said, yeah, go check it out. It's in the video description if you so desire. And this is actually, initially I was going to make I was going to make a 7 or 8 video series on the Grand Inquisitor unlock, showing the different modding, and, for one of them, and then the rest of them would be the 7 different Jedi, or Force users rather, that the Inquisitors have to face in the unlock mission. And, this is just one of the slides that I made, and I've actually decided I'm going to just make one big video. It's not going to be a bunch of little videos. It's a headache that we don't all need. So, this is an old, well, it's a new thumbnail, but it's from an old concept that I'm no longer using. Which, I mean, this goes into how much time I spend on this game, making content and everything. I try to be proactive and make these thumbnails, and then it's wasted effort. It's tough guys. So all right, CG has continued their inclination to answer FAQs. Like, people ask questions about the territory battle, about the different character unlocks and everything, and I thought this was a really interesting one, actually. So this was for the territory battle FAQ, and to be clear, I love that they're being a little more transparent and actually answering some questions that we ask. I think that's a very good sign. I want to make sure people understand that even though this is a kind of a sad answer to the question, I do appreciate that they answered it at all. Now the question is, do they have any fun ideas while developing territory battle that were ultimately just left out, that would be fun? The final product didn't include them. And their answer was, and I'll read it to you because the font is a little bit small anyways, there were a lot of ideas that we had to leave out for the initial launch, many of which were quality of life improvements for territory battles overall. We do hope to include these improvements in a future update when it is possible. I love how it's just like, when it's possible. Yeah, like, they would love to add it in the next 2 or 3 years. That would be cool. And honestly, I bet that the person answering it and the people who develop those things do hope that they can just go and do it right now. It's just an interesting thing. Like, we all knew this, right? I mean, CG needs to make money, and they're not going to make money just by improving the UI. I mean, sometimes they will. Like, if the UI, the user interface, is that miserable to deal with, then people are going to quit the game. But if it's not that miserable to deal with, like the Datacron one is awful, and I would love some kind of an update to that. But if the rest of the game was like that, we would all probably quit. But because we're not quitting, it's not quite to the awfulness level that people quit, then there's not much money in just developing better user interface, because people are already kind of fine. Like, they've given their vote of confidence or whatever, their vote of approval, like, hey, yeah, that's fine, I guess, even though we would all like a little bit better. But there's not much money in it, and CG does need to make money. I'm not really condemning them, and I'm not really defending them. I thought it was a surprising degree of transparency on their part. They were basically just like, you know what, quality of life improvements aren't as important as getting the product out and getting people to spend money on relics, etc. So, and I don't know about you guys. I think I would prefer them to just launch this instead of delaying for a really long time to implement these quality of life improvements. Like, we all wanted the new territory battle to be released. I guess I'm okay with this regardless. That was an interesting insight. Now, Datacache is something that you guys probably want to be paying attention to. Well, some of you just won't be affected at all. So, first off, you want to make sure that you're locked into all the things that you're going to be locked into. So the places that you're going to use Datacrons here for are going to be like arena battles is one that I just totally don't care about. So it doesn't matter, but the idea is we're going to be getting rid of our Datacrons in favor of more efficient gameplay, and I'll show you in a minute. But you want to make sure that you can actually use all of your Datacrons in the upcoming events, and so we're already all locked in to the current round of GAC, or we're not, but one way or another, we're in, right? So we're in or out. And the Datacrons if we get rid of all of our Datacrons, it doesn't matter at this point for Grand Arena. For Territory Wars, you need to lock in, right now, basically, before you do any of this stuff. Lock in, and then don't, if you think you're going to, leave and then come back in because you just updated a character or whatever, then, maybe wait for this. But one way or another, when you go into a Datacron upgrade screen, you can see that they have the capped currency here at 30 million Datacache, which is smaller than I would prefer, frankly. 30 million, because if I select, and this is, I've been very engaged in Datacrons, trying to make sure that I have all of them, and I've already dusted a few of them anyways, but I've been on top of my Datacron game, not spending a ton of money. The rerolls is what really costs a lot of money, but one way or another, you know, this is my main account. If we select all of them to dismantle right now, I would actually end up with 49, you know, almost 50 million data cache, and there's no overflow. It just ends at 30. And so if I scrapped all of them, if I dismantled all of them right now, I would actually end up just getting rid of, just throwing 20 million in the dumpster. And so all you do is just select enough that you're not going to go over. And they do give you a little warning in that little red triangle thing. So, you know, the crit damage triangle mod there that you guys can see. And so you just select, but right now, so what I'm doing right now is I'm scrapping 24 million worth, and then I have enough supplies, enough things from set 5 to work on, and set 6 actually. I've bought a few crons from there with the shard shop currency that I can actually spend some of this. My guess is that I'll still end up scrapping some of this, some of these data cache, but this is pretty helpful for those of you with bigger rosters who have a lot of data crons. You can scrap them at any point once you're locked into Territory Wars or GAC, or I guess both. And then I thought this meme was funny. I'll let you guys read it on your own, pardon the swear word, but I thought it was worth it, because, I mean, honestly, set 4 can go, like, I hope we kill it with fire. I hope it never comes back again. No more dodge, no more Lord Vader being just spamming AoEs, no more just constant, you know, endless loops with the various, you know, endless loop characters, the endless loop faction. I mean, we'll get endless loops here coming up here. Don't you worry. Set 6 will have plenty, but it's not as egregious as this, I think. Turn meter manipulation is going to be so gross in 6. All right, and finally, we're on the topic of how much money do I make. And I don't, to be clear, guys, I'm not going to show you everything. I'm not going to show you anything from Twitch, like all the stuff that I make from Twitch. I'm not going to show you anything from Patreon. I'm just going to show you some stuff from YouTube, just to give you a little insight on what's going on, like how much money do I make, how, you know, I'm curious to know how much you guys think I make, how much your perception is. So I'm going to show you the top 3 videos, and then I'm going to show you, I think, the top 5 videos as of, you know, like basically when I made this video. I'll show you guys how much I've made like this week, basically. So, maybe not the whole week, but one way or another. The third highest paid video that I've made in my career on YouTube, which has been 2 or 3 years, is $206.96. I think this was 16,000 views, which is a surprising amount of money to make for that many views, actually. I would have guessed a little bit less, but this is apparently my third highest grossing number. Now, keep in mind, too, this is all money I have to take taxes out of. So they send me this much money every month, or, you know, they send me this much money over time, and then I have to set aside 15% for taxes, because that's about what it charges. And so, you know, and keep in mind too, this is a lot of work to make a lot of these videos. So the second highest grossing, this is the very first characters may be modded poorly video, and it just really took off. This is over 30,000 views. I think another video just finally passed it just in the last week or two. This was my highest viewed video for a really long time. It's at 37,000 views, something like that, and it's made just over $215. So, I mean, not too bad. I was so surprised when I put this one out, because I didn't think it was going to be that much of a hit, and it got so many views. You can't plan something like that. That's about as close to viral as I'll ever get, probably. So then we have Sith Eternal. Like, you've unlocked Sith Eternal. Now what? Like, this is how to use Sith Eternal, and it's made me almost $250 over time. And this is, I think, I don't know. I'd have to look, but it's at 30,000 views, something like that. And yeah, this is my highest made, and this is the total money that I've made. So over time, I mean, people still watch this even this month. I think I'm probably making about $10 off of this month. So, you know, no complaints. But you know, I don't think any of my videos have actually even hit 40k views. Which, I mean, I'm not going to be ungrateful. I get enough views, at least on some of my videos. But you know, I haven't gone viral. This makes me, I don't know, on the borderline of of bitter. Okay, so one thing I do want to point out, folks. So first off, this is my like second job, basically. Like I love making videos. I don't know that I make enough money. Like these are my top videos ever. Like over the course of 2 or 3 years of me doing this as my second job, of like really putting a lot of effort into this, you know, making daily content and all of that for a long time now. And this is you know, sometimes if I could guaranteed make this much money, that would be great. But remember, this is my second job, and there's a lot of work that goes into it. Even just making thumbnails, like you guys saw that Kanan one, and now I'm not even going to use it. So the other thing I want to point out is if you try to do the math of like trying to make it, it's not all linear how much money you make on a video, because there's a lot of different factors. There's there's a ton of different factors. There's how much they are paying for ads at a given moment, how much, you know, they've been able to negotiate with the ad vendor, how much. How many of the people viewing my videos also are selected by their algorithm to watch ads that are being paid more money for by their clients, and then a lot of it has to do with like how many views have come immediately. Like view density is also a thing. And so if you try to say like, okay, this video is 30,000. If Arnold has a 30,000 video, for instance, 30,000 views, which is probably not trying to be insulting. He's probably going to get more views than that, but he'll probably make more than I do because he gets all of his views all smashed into like 1 or 2 days. And this is over the course of like a year or two. So anyways, let's look at my week, how much I made there, and then we'll call it good. So, yeah, this is just the top, 6 for the week. As of right now, it's just a rolling 7 days, 7-day period. So my How to Farm for Territory Battle video got a little over 70. The last plan video, actually, the plans actually make a decent amount of money. I don't know what makes them get more, frankly. I mean, I know a lot of it, but gosh, yeah, you could get really into the weeds with trying to figure out the monetization stuff. The Treya Omicron is worth it. That's the what's it called? The big game hunting video that I put out a while ago. Let's see, the next one is my GAC recap, and then Create Expectations actually made it a little bit, and then my Faction Essentials. You can see why Faction Essentials, I don't make as many of those because, well, it's hard. You just don't. I put in way more effort for that Faction Essentials video, like a monstrous amount of effort compared to the rest of these. The rest of these took a lot of prep time, I won't lie, but the Faction Essentials takes way more than the rest of these by a crazy amount, actually. And you know, it's like, okay, well, cool, thanks, I'll take my $30, but you know, and then they'll tax it and everything, and I'll make passive income on it over time. But it's tough to do that because the rest of them, it's like, well, I could go for low-hanging fruit here and make a bunch of, you know, just like real quick videos, or I can make these things that are really thoughtful, really take a lot of time, really explain things, really get into the nitty-gritty, and just don't, you know, I won't even make as much. So anyways, folks, I think that's basically it. You know, figured it's Christmas time, I could show you guys a little bit of something. That could be my Christmas present to you this time, folks. Yeah, so let me know what your thoughts are on all the things. You excited about Treya just totally destroying Lord Vader now? It's interesting. You love it. The CG takes 2 or 3 weeks off of work every single Christmas time. Give me your thoughts, guys. I'll turn it over to you. Thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails. Oh, I should say, because we're talking about income, you guys can always sign up for my Patreon. I've got big things planned for this next coming year, but sign up for the Patreon. It's in my video description if you want to support this channel for not free. Alright guys, take care.